Hello, welcome to DNA Talks. I'm your host, Derek Phelps. I have a couple special guests in the building. I got Madman over here. Thanks for coming out. And the new guest, Bucky. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate you guys. Obviously, tonight was there was an MMA fight tonight that happened earlier. It was actually a horrible thing. But we're not here to talk about MMA. We're here to talk about some experiences. And one of the experiences that's actually going to be happening in the next month for me is I'm going to be going to a bachelor party. And I'm a groomsman for a wedding. So the topic.
Been to bachelor parties before?
Yeah, well, the bachelor party is first like a week before. It's usually a week before, right?
No, I'm just saying, like,
typically,
is this your first go around with the bachelor party?
Second, it's my second.
Okay.
So my first one, I learned the hard way not to give into the strippers. I mean, give into the party host.
Why not?
And
what the fuck's the point of going there?
Well, okay.
You're not getting married.
I shouldn't say give in. I should say don't spend so much money, Derek.
Oh,
they don't love you.
Duh,
they just love your money. And I had a really fun time spending $688.
Holy fuck!
See that? Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying.
I unloaded I got the maximum I could out of the ATM, and then I went back after midnight and got another maximum.
Oh man,
Where was this at?
Was that your first time going to like a stripper event?
Yeah. It was actually at a strip club.
I did.
Like in
it
was
out.
house.
I'm not gonna lie. I did the same fucking thing. So when I went in the military,
Guilty as charged.
When I went in the military at actually 17 years old, I turned 18 in basic training. My first time going to a strip club by myself, it was this shitty little strip club. There was like literally in the dorms at my first base, you could like look over the fence off the base and see it like in the glowing neon lights.
Dude, I totally thought you were going to say the strip club was in the dorm. I was like, oh, that's fucking fantastic.
I could have hit it with a rock. It was that close.
You don't even have to pay, just look out your window.
Yeah, no, it was called the Matador too, so it had like this big, like glowing, flashing fucking sign. It was like something out of Grand Theft Auto.
Matador. And the strippers come running towards you, and you just hold out. Ole.
Yeah, no, it was because they were like, running away from your cock. But that place, man, I went in there with like probably $100 on me, and like I ran out of money, or I didn't run out of money, but like I was like kind of like, gradually spending money, and then I got suckered into the lap dance, and I was like, no, I don't have $40 or whatever the fuck she was asking. She's like, well, there's an ATM down the street. I'm like,
oh my God,
down the street?
It's one of those clubs.
Yeah, it's such a shitty club. They didn't even have a fucking ATM in it.
How the fuck do you have a strip club without an ATM in it? Like defeats the whole purpose, right?
Like a fucking retard, an 18-year-old retard. Fucking walked down the street. Like 2 blocks
they let you
away.
back in? Jesus.
Yeah, no, of course. They were nice enough I didn't have to pay a second cover.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, so that was I've done the same thing. So I've been in your shoes. I can't talk shit.
And now the cool part I'll say about this strip club, I'll say for this instance, it wasn't the first time I've ever been to a strip club, but it was the first bachelor party with all your boys. So we went, and I immediately was like, okay, where's this place at? What's going on, right? And I was all pumped and excited, And we get in there, and it's actually, it's a sushi fucking bar / strip club.
Dude, there's no way that could be good.
Then, swear to God.
The smell alone, bro.
And we get into this.
Is that the sushi or the strippers?
we get into this place, and we're essentially like trying to. So what happens is like they had basically what they did is they took a piano and then converted it into kind of like a dance platform, and then with a pole in it, and then had these chairs all sit around, and you actually had to earn your way to the back where the fun times actually happen. Yeah. So they're like, okay, are these guys actually going to spend money? It was a bachelor party, so we had set up the reservation, and we got there, and we're having a great old time, obviously, because we're all like ready to fucking party. Even one of the guys there, he brought like $700 in ones because he's like, I'm taking care of my boy tonight. That's his thing.
Little shooter gun thing. Like
he had I got all my ones from him.
Make it rain
I
gun.
got all my ones from him. I was just like, hey man, I got $100. He's like, here you go, bro, and hands me a stack. I'm like, how do I know? He's like, oh, it's there. Do you want to count it? I'm like, nope, I'm not counting it. And we get in there, and you got to earn your way back there. So we all sit around we're front level, just like trying to earn our way, and we're building pyramids.
It's like levels.
And
you have to
building pyramids.
You have to beat the first stripper boss to make your way to the back.
And so we're sitting there, and then at one point, we're all kind of chilling. We had probably dumped some money into this. Next stripper comes out, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, hey man, how tall do you think she is? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I think she's 5'8". I'm like, I think she's 5'6". He's like, you want to bet on it? He's like, yeah, sure. So we put money down, and she's dancing, and she's done, and we're like, I'm like, and then I go, you have to ask her. And he's like, all right, how tall are you? She's like, oh, I'm 5'8". And I'm like, fuck. And she goes, who won the bet? I'm like, he did. She's like, oh, so who won? I'm like, you did. And we just handed her all the cash.
Like, no matter what, I'm the winner.
I like how you gamified it. There's always some dead time.
And sure enough, security comes out, sees us, and goes, hey, you know what? What they do is they come out and they kind of point. And they count, and they're like, they count you guys, and they're like, okay, here you go. And sure enough, we go back there, and from that point on, it was all just.
And a wise old man once said, "There is no sex in the champagne."
I had a great. I was just about to say that.
They all loved me. They all loved me. Although I will say that, like the stripper that I got most of the dances from, I will say this, like. I shouldn't say I overdid it, but like I was a little too into her. I should have just spread it throughout the room. And she snagged me for a dance, and then took me back to this room, and then she's like, "Oh, it's for half hour, this and this," and I dumped.
How much money did you spend on just that one girl?
At least $300.
Yeah. I'm sure her baby daddy fucking loved you.
I will
say
could have
went down the street and got a hooker for like 100.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, but the fun part is it was an experience. It's going out with your buddies and having a good time. And learning that
you bought
that
an experience, you didn't buy a stripper.
Exactly, and that's my point. And
you got to do it at least once.
And with this, like I said, with this new and up and coming thing, it's the first time I've ever been a groomsman too. So that's always kind of cool when you get to go out and get sized up for a tux, and then get like, oh hey man, you're part of the party. You're part of the actual group that's going to be sitting at the table. I don't know how it's going to be because I don't know how they want to do their wedding, but I know in some certain weddings, like traditional ones, you have your own table. They have you up at the very front, or depending on what it is. But just going out there, getting sized up and being fresh. Now he wants to do like a blue tux instead of a tie, do a bolo. We're wearing our cowboy boots. Doing our cowboy boots. And then since the groomsmen, we're all going to wear white straw hats, and he's going to wear a black cowboy hat.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, but that's his style. Man.
How blue is the tux? Like a dark blue, or like this blue?
So her dress that she's wearing is a rising blue, so it's more like midnight blue. So it's like really dark. That's a Golden State blue.
So you guys are all going to be wearing
kind of like the edge of the.
Basically
like that.
Like that color. Yeah, if not a little bit darker, But overall, it's just funny when you go get sized for a tux too. You realize how much love you put on over the years.
Oh god!
Because you go in there and you're like yeah. Like I always get my measurements because eventually I want to have like nice things, not just t-shirts. And I go in there and get sized up. And I'm like, yeah, can I get my measurements? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I'm like, I hope this fits, or I hope this and that.
Let me get that.
Hold on, let me guess. You're 48 long.
Actually, I'm a 46-inch chest.
46.
Okay. Yeah, and then I
gave you a couple extra just because that's.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. And I go in there, get sized up, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be good. And get this, we put the pants on, right? And you know how they're supposed to do the inseam, right? So you get your pant length
on the inside.
And so I go, okay. And
she dressed to the left or the right?
Good fucking question. I just asked one of my friends that the other day, and he said straight.
I like to kind of straddle it.
Well, no, get this. Now, here's the crazy part. So, Men's Warehouse, I speak for this one place, and I'm sure that it's multiple areas. They won't do your inseam anymore inseam. They won't do that anymore because people have the workers have been crucified for it because somebody got harassment. Harassment and in my head I'm thinking you're getting sized for a tux.
Exactly.
Why are you going in there and getting measured if you're not getting measured correctly? If I went in there and I want to get, if I'm spending money, if I want to spend money on a $2,000 suit, guess what, motherfucker? You're getting sized.
It's lawsuit trolls. It's like fucking Lucky from King of the Hill slipping and peeing on the fucking
pee-pee money.
The pee-pee, yeah. Got me a settlement of
I guess there would be a
$14K.
difference if the guy that's giving you the inseam and he goes like this to measure, or if he goes like this to measure, either way.
Right. My parents worked at a community center, and there was people that were disabled that would specifically join clubs just to go to the club and find shit wrong with it so they could sue them.
Oh yeah,
and they made a living off of doing this. They would just go from place in restaurants too. They would go to a restaurant your bathroom door isn't big enough. I can't get my wheelchair through there.
There's a dude that does that right out here in Vacaville. Yep. He just showed up at the Hideaway just I guess last week or something like that. He went over to what's that one across the street? Beer.
Oh, the tap room. Yeah.
Brass tap. Yeah. He was out there, and I guess what he does is he goes around and just finds places that's not accessible or whatever else, and then he sues them, gets all his cash. Well, I guess not that long ago, someone was telling me that he was out there, and I guess he got so fucked up that he was in his wheelchair and went out to the front and passed out, and he just had a shitload of fucking money all over him, on the floor and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Ain't that some crazy shit? You know what I'm saying? I think like only out here is where someone get away with that.
Hey, you know, like I don't like to work, so I can imagine myself doing that. But
I don't think everybody likes that.
Yeah,
it seems like a lot of work. So
it seems like such a.
It's one of those things where I'm too lazy to be that lazy.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'd rather just fucking go to work every day and just sit there like an asshole.
Yeah.
I find myself sometimes when I'm like when I go to work, I'm constantly moving. I'm always busy, whatever. And then I'm off work and I come home and I literally like don't move off the couch for a period of probably close to 9 hours. Like people get amazed at how well I can make that make that couch my bitch and like not do anything. And they're like, "Don't you feel like a lazy?" I'm like, "No, man, no, I love it. I absolutely
fucking
love it.
Worked all day.
I literally love not doing shit. I'll literally go. I joke around all the time with my coworkers because this one girl I work with, she counts her steps and shit, and she'd be like, "Oh, how many steps?" I average like
No, she doesn't even have one. She just mentally counts.
She goes, "I'm trying to
today 1, 2, 3."
She's like, I'm trying to reach my 10,000 step goal, and I'm like, should I average 20,000? And I'm like, look, and I show her. She's like, holy crap! And I go, now look at what I'm not working, and it's like 1,100. Like
no, just 11. From the bed to the bathroom to the couch.
Yeah, but see, I'm like the opposite at my work because the work I do, I just sit there all fucking day. Like there's some days where like I'll get up and take a piss like 2-3 times. Yeah. But other than that, I don't get up. I'm at my fucking desk.
I'm surprised that like that doesn't drive you crazy as long as I've.
Oh, it does drive me crazy. Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like, because I was wearing a Fitbit for a while too. I just recently broke it when I was fucking in the hot tub. Remember we were in the hot tub a couple weeks ago.
Did you put it in the water?
I had it on. I fucking forgot about it, and now it's no more. Anyway, like.
I thought you were going to say you broke it because you got pissed off. You're like, I wonder how good I've done. It's only like 100. Fuck it. It's constantly reminding me how to shape
I drowned it. It drowned. But yeah, like some days at work, it's like 3,500 steps. And like my apartment's on
madness.
It sucks. Like I'm on the 3rd floor of an apartment too. It's like walking from my apartment to, like that's 3 floors of stairs.
Oh, that's
going to my car and then getting my car, going to work and walking up the stairs into work. 'Cause I'm on the 2nd floor of my office. And like, just taking a piss like 2 times, like 3,500 steps, like nothing.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
You know what I mean? And like, so I had a friend that was an iron worker, and like he said, "Oh yeah, I'm at 10,000 steps by fucking 9 a.m." Like I'm like,
oh my God
damn, I'm a lazy piece of shit.
Oh my
God, I can't fucking wait.
When I would have, I didn't have a Fitbit, but I had the watch, you know, little smartwatch, whatever the fuck it was, and I turned it on one day because I was always curious, like how far you would go at FedEx, right?
Oh God.
So like it usually
I can't
averaged.
imagine that.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, it's crazy because, you know, you just driving most of the time, but then you have to get out. So I measured it one time when I was doing home delivery, and then I measured it one time when I was doing ground, which is mostly businesses type shit. So I would average like 14 to 20 miles a day.
Oh my God.
That's fucking crazy. Right?
I mean, right, add it all that's up. A lot. I mean, shit, 20,000 steps is 9 miles. I mean, give or take, you know, whatever. Jesus.
And then my back got fucked up. I'm like, damn, how'd I fucking put on like 20 fucking pounds? I'm like, oh, I haven't been walking 20 fucking miles every single fucking day.
Like we were talking about earlier, man. Like when I go to the gym, like on days when I was going to the gym, because I'd walk to the gym and I'd walk home.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Here's
your cardio.
On those days,
cardio.
When I'm walking to the gym and walking home, by the time I got back to my house, like get ready for work and shit, I was already at 7,500 steps. So like then, you know, like by the end of the day, I'm like well over 10,000. Usually I was around like 15,000. Like on those days, like I would burn a shitload of calories, but then in the last 4 or 5 months, I haven't gone to the gym for shit. And I've like eaten the same amount of fucking food and I put on 30 pounds.
Yeah.
The last 6 months, I put on 30 fucking pounds.
Jesus. I love the fact that this
love. Put on love. You put on love.
I put on some fucking fluff. Yeah, lovey, fluffy love.
When you say fluff, it just reminds me of the Shittervention episode. You're talking about the fluff in the. Anyways, I love this conversation. Started with you saying that you're going to a bachelor party, talking about strip clubs and shit, and then you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get fitted for a tux," and we just straight up turned into fucking females, basically. Like, "Oh, put on weight. It's not fitting me right."
So fat.
Hey man, it's all right, dude. It's all right.
And I like how close I was on your fucking tux size, too.
Yeah, you were pretty. Yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Like I said, it's one of those things. But do you guys? I mean, have you guys ever had the experience of going on a bachelor party and doing all that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's some of the wildest experiences you guys have had, or Michael? What's one of your wildest experiences?
I'll tell you what, man. There's certain rules to certain things. So no one should ever be allowed to take any sort of pictures or anything, or even really speak about it or anything. But since everyone listening right now don't know who the fuck I'm talking about, yes, there's been some crazy ass times. But majority of all the fucking bachelor parties I've been to, like let's say 80% of them has been at people's houses, where you bring the strippers over and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the most fun.
Definitely.
Really?
Definitely.
I think all three of us have been in one of those together.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if you were there.
Did you go?
Were there?
No, I was there.
Okay.
I think I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That wasn't a bachelor.
It wasn't a bachelor party.
Oh no, but
No,
it
that
was
was
just a
birthday
fun
party, yeah.
birthday party. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there for sure.
Yeah. This poker winning stripper party.
Yeah. Winner.
Yeah. It was good.
I went to one time, and for one of our good friends, and I remember them right when they were coming over. I had my video camera, and I was like, I'm gonna set this up on this counter. And just like put some books right in front of it, so it was just because I had a remote control.
Yeah.
And so as soon as they pulled up, I was like, wait to the door.
First rule:
Bing,
not
bong.
taking pictures.
Boop. So I hit record on it, right? You know.
He was that guy.
By the time they got in to like change this, no, this was all for good reasons. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? This is just to relive some memories.
I like how, hold on, let's pause for a sec. You're just like, first rule is you don't take pictures.
Yeah.
You're like, first thing I did.
Took a picture.
You don't take actual pictures because those float around
you
and
take
get
videos
their hands
because
into
that's gonna
something
be
else.
Way better.
This is old school. Remember the VHS-C tapes?
Yeah.
You ain't uploading that to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just on a fucking VHS tape. You
Fucking
know?
R. Kelly sex tape. Fucking quality.
Oh my god.
Trip, piss on you. Yeah, but they took too long getting ready, and the damn thing shut off before it came out. And I was like, oh, fuck it, man.
That's that thing about shitty fucking. That's back when memory and cameras sucked. Like you had to have a.
Yeah.
What was it when they just released? I remember that when they released those what was it megabyte? It was the highest megabyte was like 256 or some shit. Right? It goes 256.
I mean, just the
500.
fact that it was megabytes is bad.
Right,
enough,
and you film these shitty quality videos. Like I still have videos on my laptop of my boy like super blacked out, wasted back when we were like 17 or some shit because he shotgunned like 8 beers in a row. And I'm like, I always, every once in a while when I see him, I'll be like, hey man, remember this? He's like, you still have that video? I'm like, dude, yeah. And it's like pixelated. Was it pixelated as a motherfucker? But dude, I will never forget
Old
that
school
shit.
phones and shit.
And it probably took up like half my space on my laptop because of how old that shit is
like
and how.
flip phone fucking video
That's
quality.
it. I swear to God, it is. And I swear to
You can
God,
only record for like
school
10
Nokia.
seconds at a time.
all you can hear is it's all pitch black, and you can just hear him like moaning, like
It's like fucking like a Minecraft.
Yeah. So check it out. So with the bachelor party, it's weird, the ones that I've always been to, because it always kind of works the same. So the guy will show up and like with the chicks and stuff, and I don't know, like you've been to ones at people's houses and shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So did they do the same thing where the guy will come in and be like, okay, so here's the way it worked. You're going to give me cash, and then you're like either some sort of token or something, or like something to get per.
I have a funny story about that, but
I know you do.
I've never had
the token thing
With the strip club,
no.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask you about that in a second because he ain't heard about it. But like, so usually when people show up, they do this. The guy will show up and they want everyone to spend way more money. So what they would do is like, you have like dumb little tickets, like you would like raffle tickets or some shit.
Oh my God.
Everyone costs about $20. So if you wanted like a dance or something like that, whatever, you would just give the ticket to her or the guy, and then you would get your shit.
I see.
Right. But then what about like the ones you're throwing and everything else?
Yeah.
So this guy, he came in and it was an outrageous thing. It was like each ticket was like $50 or something. And I looked around at all my boys and shit. And we're just like, this motherfucker ain't making no money. Like, we finna just send him home. Like, how you gonna ask us to get tickets for $50 each? No, I'm just gonna do.
Sense.
And he's like, well, get the tickets. No one bought any. And these girls are just sitting around waiting for shit. And I'm like, hey, so can we just throw cash around now? And he's like, all right, fuck it. So we start throwing cash around and shit, right? But at a strip club, I've never really I think I might have been to one. I don't think it's as fun as at a fucking strip club and shit, you know?
It really what it really comes down to, it really depends on like the group you come with.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it depends on your
the attitude
group.
and the attitude of which you
On your
approach it.
group.
So what I've learned from going to these establishments, we should say, and hanging out,
Sushi strip clubs.
sushi strip clubs, is that women love women. So if you ever decide to go to a strip
absolutely.
club,
Yeah.
I
Bring your
mean
chick
this. I mean
friends.
this
Yeah.
for everybody out there. Bring women with you.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what,
Just
women
if you
love
don't have
women.
If you don't
And I
have
s-
any girlfriends that are cool with it, just swing by the bus stop.
For sure. Go by Home Depot.
Oh yay!
I'm telling you, it's worth the
this wig on.
experience, and the girls are gonna have a great time, and you're gonna even get more out of it.
And you know what you do too is instead of being the person that, when you sit up there, you have to throw out a couple bucks every fucking song or whatever, you give the money to the chick to give to the fucking chick because that is like,
and you get such a better response.
it's just like the same thing when you're going out, like to a bar or whatever else, looking for some chicks or whatever else. It's the best wingman you can always have is like another attractive girl. You know what I'm saying? Makes them feel more
They don't
comfortable.
even have to be
and shit.
attractive. Just like, well, I mean,
Well,
there's
in that
always-
situation, but at a strip club, yeah. Okay.
There's a certain extent, but yeah, just any girl that's like just open minded and chill, like
right.
you're in good
Right.
shape.
Yeah.
But always having a solid wingman helps in every situation, regardless.
But when you go to like a strip club and shit, like in my experience, I've never been to a strip club by myself. To me, that's just like that's like.
Besides that, the first time, the time I just talked about, that was the only time I've gone to a strip club by myself. And it was horrible.
Were you having breakfast? Like what?
No, I was. Well, I mean, if it's that close,
I
literally just got into that base. I knew nobody, and I'm in like literally the other side of the country. I'm from California. I was in fucking Florida. I knew nobody there, and I was like, oh look, a strip club. I've never been to a strip club. I'm fucking 18 and I'm retarded.
Yeah, I think there's an exception for something like that.
Great idea. You know what I mean? So
if you're bored, there's a strip club 25 feet away.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I'm saying? You're 18.
Like I walk out of my front door and there's there's the Matador.
Titty. Let's go see some titties. Why not?
Titties. Exactly.
I mean, like
this is before the internet really kicked off. So.
You didn't have YouPorn to rely on.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's either strip club or USA Up All Night.
I couldn't pull the porn getter out of my pocket. I fucking had to jerk off like a fucking pilgrim.
Like a pilgrim. Nice.
I think that's an obsession for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you check something out the first time. If it's that close, for sure. But like our age and shit now, I can't even imagine going to a strip club just like by yourself. Or like I don't even really like going if it was just like me and like one of you. You know what I'm saying? Like me and just one other person and shit. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like going to buffets, not eating, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. I would have way more fun and have a better chance. If you're trying to hook up with a chick, way more fun taking that money and like pouring it into a night out.
Okay, so on that, so on that note, kind of, what would be an ideal bachelor party in your mind?
Like I said,
at a strip house or like some sort of.
I think a cabin would be kind of cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
A cabin,
yeah.
Like I don't know if you guys ever been out to Reno and like seen some of the cabins.
Oh, yeah.
I was just out there for another wedding. I was just kind of there just to be there. A girlfriend of mine was like, "Hey man, I need a date for the wedding." I'm like, "Sure, fuck it, I have a suit. I'll be out there." Beautiful cabin, and I'm like, "Man, that would be." I was like,
some of the best things to do, like weddings.
It was amazing. It was right dead smack in the middle of Tahoe. Beautiful area, beautiful weather. Mm-hmm. I mean, the whole cabin was enormous. It fit like. What is it, 16 comfortably?
Yeah.
And it had rooms for everybody and all this shit. I mean, the room I was in, it had bunk beds, and I still rocked and it had a whole gaming area, it had a pool table, a ping pong table, fucking poker table,
jacuzzi.
It didn't have that. That was the one thing that I was mad about. Wow. Any cabin out there should goddamn have it.
Have the
Can I get a hot tub?
Some of them,
that's what you need. That's what you need. You got to have a hot tub.
She wants a hot tub.
I think my aunt used to live out there, and some of the housing places out there, like for some reason, it's illegal to have a hot tub in like some of the housing developments out there.
I wonder if that's
and I'm like, what the? No, it was in Truckee, I think, if I remember right.
Well, South Lake Tahoe's got some fucked up rules. They're trying to like push out all the all the Airbnbs and shit because a lot of people live up there seasonally, and then during like whatever off season is for them, whether it be winter or summer, they Airbnb their shit.
Yeah, which makes sense. Fuck it, it's my shit. I can do whatever I want.
Right, but all the local residents that live up there year round, they don't want fucking Derek's fucking bachelor party going on next door.
Want love stains all over the fucking hallway and like a Jackson Pollock painting,
driveway and shit. Looks like a Rorschach.
They come in there. They come in there with a black light. Like what the fuck?
You ever stay?
Blood?
Is that blood? That's fucking blood.
A little bit of both.
Like how is that possible?
Don't ask. Don't look in the backyard.
It's like a raspberry.
What's all this fresh digged up dirt? You ever stayed at Airbnb?
Yeah, I dig it. I loved it.
I can imagine that.
Some places are really nice.
It's just like really nice. Wouldn't it just be like a hotel room where like if you fuck up and like trash a place and shit, you're gonna get charged the fuck out of that, right?
Yes. So when I did the Airbnb, it was in actually in Idaho. I was going to a wedding, and
I was about to say,
dude, it was fucking kick ass. It was really kick ass. Like so like a hotel room. I don't know. It just feels different. It feels like you're. I don't know. Like hotel rooms to me feel like you're staying like a hospital or something.
Yeah, limited room, super small. You can't do
this
everything.
This one feels like you're staying at like a friend's house because like when I went up there, I like met the dudes like, hey, how's it going? My name's da-da-da. I'm gonna be staying at that house up there. Like it was like we had the whole house.
Oh wow!
It was like
a
whole,
that was
three-bedroom
totally
house.
Different than what.
Yeah, and so he's like, you can just go wherever you want, do whatever you want, whatever you need, just let me know over here. And that was really it. And
the guy that rented it out to you stayed.
So yeah, basically it was like a big piece of property, and there were 3 houses on the property. It was like a big, nice house. We didn't Airbnb that one.
Yeah.
It was a smaller house that we were in, and and then he had a third house on the property in like the way back.
Oh damn, that must be nice, huh?
It was super duper nice.
Wow, and you're distant, you're away from everything.
Yeah, and he was super chill, and like so it was like staying. It was like living at a different house basically.
Yeah,
because like there's like furniture, there's like
everything's
you go
already
in the living room and there's like DVDs,
there's like a regular fucking house. You know,
like a regular fucking house. Yeah,
like you're like house sitting or something for someone.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it felt.
How much did it cost?
I think it was like a $125 a day.
Really?
We had like 5 or 6 people, so it worked out really good.
So was it 125 per person?
No, 125 for the unit.
Thank you. That shit was cool. Really?
So yeah. So it was kick ass because
that's affordable.
Like if we would have gotten a hotel rooms, it would have been at least fucking 3 hotel rooms.
Yeah, for sure.
And
they probably would have been about $100.
Even Motel 6 would have been like 50 or 60 a night.
Yeah. I can't knock Motel 6 though. I love me some Motel 6. Man.
I fucking hate Motel 6.
One of the first times I ever went to Vegas, I was like, you know what, man? What the fuck do I need a fancy ass hotel room? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to Vegas. I'm wasting my shit out there. But if I need to fuck a bitch or get some sleep and shower, that's all I need. Motel 6 got me.
Yeah,
$60 a fucking night.
It's going to come back to your Motel 6 is not the kind of quality
You'd be fucking surprised. You'd be surprised, man. That was the first time I had the twins, man. But, what the fuck, dude? Okay, Mr. DNA Talks over here just fucking smacked a fly and just spread asbestos all over us.
I'm pretty sure I have mesothelioma now.
I got plantar fasciitis.
Sorry, folks. For some reason, these guys, the door was left open and they're flying.
Got one for you too.
Ooh, nice.
That's the beauty.
That camera off.
That's okay. That's the beauty of video editing. So it's fine.
You know what fucking sucks? Why the fuck do they still do these ceilings?
I know these fucking.
Isn't it the worst thing in the fucking world? Yeah, that's why we're all dying. Anyways,
so bachelor too. I don't give a fuck.
So bachelor party shit, right? Strip club is cool when you have a bunch of your friends with you and shit, right? That's cool. I've never spent more than, let me go a little bit over just to be safe, about $300. I know for sure I spent about $200. But I cannot.
There's a point of diminishing returns. There really is.
Exactly. I knew someone that went out. One of the last times went out that spent $1,500 at a fucking strip club in Sacramento.
Well, so like I was telling you, you're buying an experience, right? But there's like a certain like point of diminishing returns where, like all of a sudden you spent like a G, and you really shouldn't have because you probably would have had just as much fun spending $300 just by pacing yourself. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I think there's a point of diminishing, and there's a point of. Like, you should feel bad about your shit.
Exactly.
You should have way more fun with $1,000 anywhere else.
Exactly. So I dated a stripper for a while, and ever since then, it fucking ruined me.
I think that's when I met you, actually.
No. This was way back.
Oh, way back when? Okay.
Sorry.
She wasn't a stripper. She was just super hot.
Oh, okay. Got it. Nice. Good for you, Bucky. Good for you.
No, so...
Oh, yeah.
Like you guys had to, like, relive the moment there. Like, oh, good for you.
No, so this was when I was in the military. I was like,
you still got a number? Tell her I said what's up.
I could get it for you.
Fuck with you. But yeah, really later.
Okay. So, being that I was dating this stripper, I would go to the strip club like every night. And
get your hands off my girl.
Not spending money.
I'm just fucking with you.
Not spending money or anything like that, but just to like I'd get off of work, I'd be sitting at home, and she'd say, "Oh, just come by and
hang out." Yeah.
And she'd get off work at like fucking 1 or 2 a.m. And so I'd get there 10 or 11 p.m. I'd just hang out and bullshit with the fucking security guards and shit, and we'd leave at 1. Now, once you've dated a stripper and you know, like, kind of like behind the curtain
how it works,
find
out who Oz is.
It's so fucking gross, dude.
Oh, God.
Those thongs they're wearing. Every bitch in that club has worn that thong.
Please tell me.
They just fucking like rotate them.
That's
They're
awful.
like,
please tell me she told you the same thing the stripper that I dated. They're in a big box and they get them every day.
They just grab them. Like they like fucking. So there's usually
those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No. Well, apparently what they do is they at the end of the night they take their like outfits or whatever. They throw them in a big box. Someone is supposed to wash them.
Yeah, but they don't.
But who knows? Let's just assume they do. Even worst case scenario. Let's just say they do. Or best case scenario. Let's assume they do. They're still throwing everything into one thing, and the next day they're grabbing something out and putting it on.
And the crabs don't know what they're doing.
I wouldn't even feel comfortable if I knew it was washed.
Yeah, no. So that was gross. And then also too, like at a point, like there's like the dudes that are like regular patrons of the strip club. They're there like
They're
3-4
supporters.
times
Like
a week.
they own stock in the business.
Yeah,
like,
they're like, but at that point,
Well, I mean,
and that's
technically.
the point of diminishing returns. Like the regular customers, it's not like the regular customers are coming in there and they're getting like the VIP treatment.
No.
They're just getting the VIP money dropped and they're getting
Yeah.
the same fucking treatment as everybody else.
yeah, they'll come in for like the little buffets they
Yeah,
have
right,
set up
exactly.
sometimes too.
Yeah, they come in for-
Swedish meatballs.
for Wednesday night steak dinner.
yeah, breakfast is good here. You should try it. What? It's
Meatloaf and titties.
Yeah, it's fucking 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You're at a strip club. What the fuck? Don't you have like something to do at 3
Well,
p.m.?
see, and that's getting
My
back to
kids-
like what I said. Going to a strip club
It's
to
got school
yourself.
for so.
I'll never want to be that guy that goes to a strip club by himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's the way it seems to me.
You turn from someone that's having a good time to like someone that's fucking like a degenerate.
Yeah, and I can
And the
understand
strippers
people that
know it too. Like they're like, oh, there's fucking Jeff. He's the fucking weirdo that comes here and
there are some people that might be some of the only relationships they have. You remember the
Exactly.
movie The Wrestler?
yeah.
Exactly. Isn't that a good point?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
For sure.
there's some people like that. They ain't got nothing going on in their life and shit. So I understand why they go. And I understand why they spend all this cash. Like, if you're on a fixed income, you know, this and that, whatever's coming up, you go out there and you do your thing. I feel it because instead you just be sitting home by yourself because nobody want to fuck you. You ain't got no, you can't go out and get no girl by yourself. You can't do any of this shit. So that's what you live out your little experience there and shit. But, goddamn, who the fuck wants to be that person?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be that person. That's why it's always fun to go out with a big group of your friends and shit. But my perfect, like, thing I like doing in a strip club is show up with a bunch of your friends, at least like 5 or 6, but a couple of chicks and shit. Go there and then go somewhere else afterwards.
Yeah, like
know what
do
I'm
an
saying?
after party.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
start
like,
up there.
It's kind of like going to Las Vegas and visiting there and living in Las Vegas.
Yeah, for sure, right?
So I'll speak on that note because I've actually lived in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So like now that I travel there so much because I have family that lives there, I'll drive there all the time and hang out. And I see Vegas for what it's
Yeah.
it's a
You
tourist
see, like,
attraction.
yeah.
So, so now I'm like when I go out there
You
and
see the burbs.
I'm like okay, I have way more fun at Green Valley than I'll ever have on the Strip. And people are like, why Green Valley Ranch? It's like this, you know.
Okay.
It's like it's basically like in Henderson. I'll have hella fun there. And yeah, sure, the Strip is fun as shit when you're with a whole bunch of your friends. Absolutely. I recommend going out there, hanging out with your friends, getting a hotel room and partying up. That's it. Do
There
that
you have
shit.
it, ladies and gentlemen.
Do that shit.
DNA Talks suggests Las Vegas.
Vegas,
Yeah.
thumbs up.
Hashtag Vegas strong.
Yeah.
But like I said, you know, it's
Vegas
it's one of those things, you know, that people are like, oh yeah, it's a let's go have fun, let's go rage, let's go party, you know, because now you see movies, The Hangover,
supposed
all
to,
this,
yeah.
and that's fine. I get that. But now that
Fair
I've
logic.
lived there, like now that I go there so often, I think of it a little differently. And that's just my own personal opinion. I could have a whole lot of fun at Green Valley, having gambling and making all kinds of money,
Yeah.
versus driving all the way to the Strip and you know walking around bars and you know doing that shit.
Yeah.
Now, if you go with a group, I've gone out with my brother. And we've gone out and partied it up and had a great old fucking time because it's a group thing.
Yeah,
but if it's
you
just
get a group
like
of people, you go to fucking Fremont Street and you have fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Just like if you
Not
work at
even
a pizza
Fremont,
shop.
Not even Fremont. Like we went to this one. I remember the casino, or it was actually just past Fremont Street. We started at this one place, and they're doing beer pong,
Downtown
just
Vegas.
whatever. And it's all water pong, you know, obviously because they're not going to be actually giving you beers, because that way you know it gets gross really quick because beer pong is pretty
sounds
rough.
gross
I would never
anyway.
play beer pong with beer. In
I found
in
out there
bar.
was a law with that.
It's,
when I
well,
was
that's why.
doing
That's why.
promoting for
That's
some
why
shit. It's
you
weird.
can't
I
use
didn't know that,
beer.
yeah.
It's a
You
sanitation.
can't
thing.
force people to play a game and make them buy beer and shit. It's weird.
Well, it's just you can't use beer. So it has to be water in the cup because it's unsanitary. Because that's why if you put beer
I'm
in there, and
assuming
then
you
people-
don't drink the water. Yeah.
Of course, yeah, you water pong.
One guy gets too fucked up.
Right, and that's my point. So because otherwise
This
you
shit
just
is-
yeah,
What
you
is
just
this, Bud Light?
So
Vodka's gone bad.
so I mean
Tastes
overall,
like floor.
like I said, that's not the, we had a great time beer pong.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I got trashed because I was just super like okay, let's go, let's party. And whenever I party with my brother, either I'm blackout, fucked up, wasted, or he's blackout, wasted. So I figure
So
like
God
whenever we
intended.
hang out, like I might as well just get blackout, fucked up, wasted because hell, why not? You know,
Take one for the
I'm
team.
not- exactly. Well,
Yeah.
either I'm taking care of him or he's taking care of me, and I you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck it, you're taking care of me tonight. You
I'm
know,
a lazy man, I
And half
feel you.
Yeah.
the time I don't remember shit. And he's just like, dude, you were a monster, man. You were just you said you'd be fine after that Jameson shot. You were not fine after that Jameson
Yeah.
shot. You were not fine. You were a mess.
Usually
you were last time you were hugging your. So when you walk down the strip, you know how you see like random characters and shit. You see like
Yeah,
fucking
like Gene
Looney
Simmons
Tune
from
characters,
Kids and
Gene
shit, yeah.
Simmons. Well, I found Darth Vader, and I felt like he needed a hug. I was like, okay, it's rough out there. You know, it's
This is during the daytime?
No, it was nighttime. I was blacked out, wasted. I don't remember this.
I've never seen characters.
I'm sure they're used
and my
to
brother
it.
took a photo of me hugging Darth Vader. Like, I felt like he needed to hug it out. It was him and his 2 stormtroopers, and I was like, I need to go give him a hug, man. Yeah. And I remember the guy like
killed my son.
All I remember is like giving this guy a hug. All I remember was like, man, he needs a hug. And my brother's like, dude, you hugged him for like a good solid 60 seconds. You didn't let go of him, and the guy hugged you back.
Probably longer.
Like,
you know, he's just a bum.
yeah,
he's a bum that saved up $60 to get a Darth Vader costume, and now he's
not the worst thing that happened to him that day.
Yeah. It was the worst thing that happened to you that day. Probably.
Although I will say one of the funniest costumes I've seen
Darth Vader smells like piss.
So was a Sylvester cat who was blacked out, wasted, drinking a bottle of like, was it Taka? He was on the ground like fucking sideways, like
yeah.
And I'm like, it was Sylvester the cat, right?
That cat suit, that's his job.
Yeah. How the fuck do you get like? That's such a weird reference. What was it, Sylvester? How do you get a costume as Sylvester? Like that's hilarious.
That's what I'm saying. Like I had never seen that.
You know what it was? Website. It was probably a guy that got fired from that was it that show called Cats? That Broadway show. He just got fired. He was like, "Fuck them."
He was drunk. He was like
some Russian dude they brought over to do ballet, and
people are taking pictures with him. He's like, "What are you doing?" I just got fired. Fuck you.
It's been a rough day.
Jesus Christ! I got feline AIDS.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Okay, shit. First of all, I've never seen any characters on the Vegas Strip. You're talking about Fremont Street though, so like old Vegas.
No. Like on the Strip, they're lined up.
They're on the
Have
strip.
you ever seen
Fremont Street's where like I've seen most of them,
like old Vegas?
but
yeah,
you know where they have like the zip line overhead and shit. But then when you walk down the Strip too, you see them there too.
Yeah,
really,
all down the Strip. Yeah. We used to
get where I didn't notice.
We used to do jokes.
I was so wasted when I was walking.
We used to do jokes. So like those guys that hand out those cards, you know, those cards for like you know, you could do like
card money or
go to 5
those
different
Mexican
strip
guys
clubs.
that hold the it's literally I swear to God it's like a whole strip. And it's
the
these Mexican guys
on the DNA Talks does not represent the opinions of the Modak.
No, it's just, literally every year I go there.
Not for
I hang
same
out for
same people in San Francisco. They're like hand out the cards.
Hand
you
out
can
the
get into
cards.
5 strip clubs for like $20.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
hell
what
of
we
a
did.
deal.
So what we did is like, excuse me, one year I did this, and then
free steak
the year
dinner
before
at
that,
Reese's.
my brother and his friends
Free
were like,
sushi
hey,
dinner at the strip club.
We're gonna try to collect them all because every card's a different girl, right? So one of the guys was like, I'm gonna try to collect them all, right? So what he did, he walked down the
Gotta catch them all.
They walked over to the liquor store and they all bought like beer,
on
like tall
changing
cans, right? And
shirts.
they're all sitting there, and tall cans cost like $8 in Vegas. Don't buy tall cans at a liquor
No, you
store.
have to go to CVS, man.
And
right across from
anyways, so they're walking.
Pyramid.
They're walking
Whatever
down
it's
Luxor,
Yeah.
and they're walking down. Or excuse me, he goes, "Hey man, I'm gonna go get some trading cards because they're calling it."
Trading
and he
cards.
walks down there and he starts collecting them. Right? He's like, "Oh man, I got the blonde twice. Man, I gotta go back." And he starts going back, and they got to the point where like, "Hey, let's all go over there." They all go over there, and they're just like turning around and walking back and forth. And they're like, "Yeah, thanks, man, thanks." And they're like, "You get out of here, get out of here!" Like you go, like because they got so
That's
mad
hilarious.
because you just taking cards
It's like Halloween.
You're like, "Hey man, do you have the right one? Can I trade you?" Like I got the blonde a couple times. Is there a brunette in there somewhere I can get? Like what the
fucking Pokemon cards. It's like
That
my
shit was
mom told
funny.
me a long
That shit
time
was
ago
funny
when we
as
were trick or treating when I was a young kid, and I thought it was the most brilliant thing I've ever heard of. It just shows me how stupid I was as a kid. They're like, we would always go trick or treating and find a street where the people were giving out the most, like the best candy, because you know back then probably full size bars and shit.
Yeah,
and I
rich
guess what they
neighborhood.
would dress up as something, whatever they were. You know what I'm saying? Back then, shit, probably Raggedy Ann or some shit. And they would go to the end of the street, and then they would carry a sheet. And they just put a sheet over their heads with and now they're a ghost and go back with it and then like keep changing it, going back and forth. Same thing with the people on the street. He's just like put some glasses on.
Because they flick the card. They flick it like, hey, take this. They flick it like it's a sound, like trying to get your attention. And it got to the you when you walk by it, you're kind of annoyed by it, but it it draws your attention in. So that's why we thought of a good idea to like, hey, let's feed into this and see how mad we can get them. And going back and forth about I'd say 6 times, they just started picking up like,
bastard.
I've seen you before. Get out of here. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, the fuck are you guys?
You're just like fucking
You're
with
wasting
the one guy
your
that has
shit.
the worst job in Vegas and shit, just handing out cards and shit.
Well,
He's
you'd
like, they don't
think
even trust me with the sign that
You
spins.
think they wouldn't give a shit because as soon as they get through their stack, they get to fucking go.
Yeah,
home.
right.
Like, just take them all.
Oh no, they go right back over to the van, pick up more, and go back out there. They're not. Yeah, there's no time limit for that shit. Come on.
You know what? One of my favorite things, off subject, but like one of my favorite things to do was whether it be strip clubs or whether it be like bars and shit. We did it for I think it was my birthday about probably like 8 years ago or so. But you got a big ass group of people. If you're going from strip club to strip, I can't talk scrambled egg. Strip club to strip club or bar to bar. There's like this game. What was it called? fuck, I forgot. So let's say I got like a business card or something, right? You start off with something. Someone has a business card. Everyone like signs it, real quick, so you know what it is.
Right.
When you go to the first bar, one person starts. So let's say I have it. So me, you, like all of us are at a bar. My job is to sneak it somewhere on you, like in your pocket or something like that. Okay. I forgot what it's called.
I know this game. I know. I don't know the name of it, but I know this game.
You ever played it before?
I have not, but I've wanted to, but the friend group that I said I hang out with, I'm always the one who's adventurous and wants to go do shit.
Yeah.
And they're not. So,
yeah. They want to wear tuxedos with the fucking hats on their wedding.
Oh, don't hate.
I don't know who the person is. I'm just fucking around.
But no, like I said, it's they don't want it. They're like nobody's out like traveling or doing crazy shit. Like I'm like some days.
But you should. It's a fucking bachelor party.
It's a great, exactly.
That is a fun little game to play. So are you guys going to be at just a strip club and just stay there the entire time?
No. So actually, the plan is I just found out. So we have connections through somebody I know to go to the brewery out in Petaluma for Lagunitas. And what it is.
Lagunitas isn't that great.
Hey, why are you guys hating, man? Come on, Jesus Christ, you guys.
They got some all right food.
Anyways, we're gonna be out in Petaluma, and we're gonna do that, do the tour because we have connections through that. We get wristbands and we get drink for free all day,
all right.
and then food's half off, which is fun.
And then where?
And then we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, and then we're gonna kind of go to a couple other breweries. That's kind of our thing.
When do the titties come into play?
So, I had this really good concept. I don't want to spoil this, but I had this really good concept where like it's not gonna well, here's the thing. There's not gonna be any titties. Like real titties.
Why are we talking about this?
Yeah. Why is this a bachelor party?
Well, because it was kind of thrown on our laps less than like a month and a half ago.
It should be thrown on your laps,
which is fine. But at the same time, I don't think the groom wants to do it that way. So it's up to him. It's his call. He's the boss.
No, it's not.
No.
Who's the best man?
That's not how it works.
The best man is his brother.
You've never seen a single bachelor party
movie. Let's talk about this real quick.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. If it was my boy.
Don't say no names. Let's put it this way. You've been to one bachelor party so far. This will be your second one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Picture those bachelor parties.
It's gonna be nasty, dude.
Bachelor parties usually work this way. Who plans the bachelor party?
The best man.
Usually, right?
That's usually the best man.
Yeah. And the groom is supposed to just be dragged along.
Right. He
shouldn't even know what's going on, right?
You should minimal information at all times.
Now I know there are some people out there where it's like, I don't want no strippers, this and that. It's because that's been put into his head for whatever. Maybe he doesn't even really want to.
Well, he has to say that. That's what he's just fucking
of course.
supposed to say.
That's why
I don't want strippers. I don't want.
Yes. Number one rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Well, also, it's like plausible deniability too.
Exactly.
I didn't want all this.
I didn't know we were supposed to go to Napa and go wine tasting, which is what it sounds like. Let's go to craft beer places.
We're going to get completely legitimate massages.
So then what you're saying? So what you're saying is that I have to take
my thing
in my own hands. And
I'm supposed to take the initiative to make this fun
and just make it like, okay, damn, dude, this is gonna get real really quick.
So damn near what we're saying is this. It sounds like you want a bachelor party to be something that you normally don't do. You know what I'm saying? You can get together with your friends.
Buying an experience.
You can get together with your friends and go to Lagunitas and all these craft beer places. To me, that just sounds like some bitch shit where it's like, let's go to Napa and go wine tasting and shit. It's the same
wine
shit.
Tasting
you could do that
men.
any day. You can do that when he's married. You know what I'm saying? You could do that with your grandpa that's 85 years old. Bachelor party is supposed to be some crazy last night shit, this and that. Now, I'm not saying this dude's got to go out and, you know what I'm saying, get balls deep in some fucking stripper and shit. No, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but it should be an experience. Right, he doesn't know what's going on. You're supposed to surprise him with some shit. To the fact where he's like,
maybe I'll just pull a rabbit out of the hat. Maybe I'll just
exactly. He's supposed to be the straight man.
He's like, oh, no.
Okay, maybe I'll just pull a rabbit out of the hat then. I'll just pull.
Yeah. You got to get together. Are you the best man?
No, I'm not.
You got to get together with the best man and be like, yo, let's turn this up.
So, right. So like I said, I already told him. I was like, I had an idea for what I wanted to do, and he's like, oh, well, we don't want to travel. And I go, that's fine. We don't have to travel. But we got to figure out where it's going to be at and what we're going to do. And he goes, okay, we're going to go out here. I go, okay, if we're going to be in Petaluma, are we staying there? Well, no, we can drive back. I go, fuck that. We should get drunk and stay in Petaluma. You
should never be able to drive.
That way, what I can do is I can set up a hotel. I can set up a hotel spot.
Yeah.
Go, hey, I'm crashing because I'm not doing all that. I got the whole weekend off. Let's do this, and then that way I can be like, okay, I can make my phone calls.
What's right up the street from Petaluma and Roner Park?
Yeah,
casino.
Which one?
Graydon.
Oh,
it's like literally like a 10-minute drive. From
well, like I said,
casino could be lit.
I mean,
so he does not want to go to a strip club.
There's no strip club.
Like I said, it's just I don't know.
I thought when you first brought up the bachelor party, you were talking about a strip club, right?
I wanted to do something fucking super. Like I wanted to get a cabin up in Tahoe, and then I wanted to personally go out and get some material for him to experience, but I didn't want to tell him shit.
No, you never should.
I just wanted him to get like kind of like fucked up, and then be like, "Hey man, have a seat. I got you a little present."
There you go.
And then it's just like it is what it is, and it's probably gonna only be like 6 of us. Like that's it. It's just us. It's that's only gonna cost what, a couple $100 maybe.
Yeah, if I think you can make that happen.
I can make
not
that
in
easily.
Petaluma, but
I don't think.
Park.
Petaluma. Yeah, no.
So if you make like a loop or something like that around Petaluma and head towards Rohnert Park to the casino, does Grayton have a hotel now or no? I think they do.
I don't think I've ever been there.
Might be worth looking into.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look
because
into
it. I guarantee you there are plenty of strippers around a casino.
Oh yeah,
they kind of flock there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you will be able to procure strippers in Rohnert Park. Guaranteed.
Well, hey, we're gonna take a little intermission right now. Have a cigarette break, refresh our drinks. We'll be back in a minute.
Right on.